Greetings, everybody. I think I'm live. It's been a minute since I've been on my YouTube channel, so got to give y'all a minute to get in. How's everybody doing this morning, this Sunday morning, or early afternoon now for us on the East Coast? So I am going to talk about all the rage. I don't usually weigh in on every single thing that becomes viral or becomes a thing within our community. Okay, a few people are here. Make sure y'all hit the thumbs up button when y'all come in. Make sure y'all share this video. We're going to have some real talk this morning because this is Real Talk with ZSJ. Like I said, it's been a minute since I have been live. But anyway, here's why that therapist that went viral on Twitter or whatever, this is why she was dead wrong. We have normalized pathologizing everything about black boys and men. And I think, and I'm saying that as a mother, I'm saying that as a wife, as somebody who interacts with black boys and men literally every second of my life. Um, and how I have caused harm, you know what I mean, because of the way that I've been taught. My environment, America is my environment, right? I'm a product of this school system. I went to college. All the things that we learn are from a pathological lens when it comes to our boys and men. Here's one statistic for y'all ass real quick. And this is where I'm starting. Right now, today, the suicide rates for black boys are through the roof. They're the highest that they've ever been. I'm going to repeat that stat. Black boys, right, middle school age, up until early 20s, have the highest suicide rates. Something's wrong. Something is wrong. What messages are our boys getting? This is why what that therapist on Twitter, um, the one that got herself fired from her job, this is why what she did was so harmful, because you're a therapist talking like this. And we wonder why black boys, men don't want to go to therapy, because these are the therapists that they're presented with. Remember, people get licensed under the Eurocentric framework. In order to be a therapist, you have to be licensed through the state. And so you have to have an education from these people. Very few black practitioners are trained in the African centered approach developed by Dr. Wade Nobles, who is very much still alive, one of the founders of the Association of Black Psychologists. Thank God that I have access to that organization. Thank God that I know people that are part of that organization that, yes, they go to school, they get their white credentials, but they're trained to deal with our people from the African centered perspective that was created by Baba Wade Nobles and others, Dr. Naeem Akbar, Dr. Kobe Cambone, all of these black psychologists who are experts on black people, that don't pathologize us, that don't look at us through a lens of deficit, always as a deficit. And unfortunately, that's what that sister did. That's what I got from her. How could anybody look at that video and say that that came from a place of love? It did not come from a place of love. She said, y'all hoes don't want to heal. First of all, how dare you? Because the healing don't look like a white little girl, because the way black men and boys show up is differently than what you've been trained to see. How dare you? You got yourself fired. And let's just be honest, it wasn't the people who went after her on social media that got her fired. It was a black woman therapist that actually wrote a scathing article about her that got her fired, because she had violated whatever oaths that these people make y'all sign, and ethics and all of these different things. She violated that. What other community can you just paint with a broad brush than black boys and men in this country? I'm not with it, man. Something is wrong. And for us to disconnect the stat that I started this video with how she acted, and she's a therapist, a black woman therapist, we got to start calling a spade a spade. There is not enough healing from an African centered perspective that's happening in our communities. And this is why you see an increase in our young people, our boys in particular, taking their lives. I know piece of people personally that their boys have taken their lives. This shit is real, y'all. This is why I had to do a video on this, because it was too much to make in a post. And for people to continue to make excuses, I've been seeing people make thank you, whoever that is that just posted that. I appreciate the affirmations. But I had to do a video about this because you have to come from a place of love when you want people to heal. Nothing about her approach in the videos that she posted came from a place of love. Ain't no way in hell I would want to hire her to counsel anybody black, whether it's a woman, man, whoever. You know, she got herself fired. You know, she identified herself as a counselor. She did all these. She is the one that probably need counseling, because most people would know better than to get on a video and say all these things about their work and then talk about a group of people in such generalities like that. Like, you cannot do that. That's like racism 101. If a white person did that, it wouldn't be no question that they were racist. But because it's a black woman now, and people within the black community you got one side that's making excuses for us, and then you got the other side that's like, nah, that's not love. You know, I don't know what's up with that sister, but she's been trained to look at her own people through a lens of pathology. And that's real. A lot of us go to school and don't realize that we are trained and brainwashed against our own people. That's one of the reasons I actually never did good in college, if I'm honest, because I challenged everything. I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to challenge professors, but I never did good in college because I challenged the innate white supremacy. Even before I was so-called woke, I just knew intuitively, sitting in those classes, that whatever the professor was talking about did not line up with my lived experience as a black woman. Yeah, nothing about her approach was love, and people making excuses for her. She even doubled down in another video. She posted another video cussing and saying, you know, all of these different things. But my thing is that black men are not white women. Everything is standardized to a Eurocentric perspective. Everything in the healthcare system, the mental health system, everything is standardized from a Eurocentric perspective. So you going to school, you done learned all this stuff, you done got your therapist license. Now you want to pathologize the entire black male community? Girl, fuck you. You were supposed to get fired. So thank you. I appreciate the affirmations. But yeah, like I said, I'm married to, I live, you know, interacting with black male energy every single day of my life. I have a son, a teenage son, and I have a husband. So I interact with, I know that black men and boys have different ways that they deal with things. I have had to learn that myself because I had been conditioned in a certain kind of way to think that everything is supposed to look a certain kind of way, it's supposed to act in a certain. I've had to recondition myself because I do interact with black male energy every single day of my life. And I learned that they deal with things in a different way. I learned that they have a different way of processing the world than I do. Even as a black woman, things are different for them. They have patience with me. I've learned to have patience with them. That's life. That's what you do when you love somebody. I love my children unconditionally, period. Dot. I love my husband the same way. So that's why for me, I couldn't get with her message at all. You know, of course, on the surface, some of the things, you know, that she's talking about in terms of, you know, emotional intelligence and things like that, I think that it's imperative for all Black people, really, living in a society that oppresses us collectively, right? Yeah, we share a common trauma. That's exactly right. All of us need some type of counseling, but we don't need it from a Eurocentric perspective. We don't need to go get counseling because the way she said is like, y'all need to come in here and get fixed, or you're gonna be lonely for the rest of your life. Come in and talk to me so I can fix you. First of all, who in their right mind would respond positively to a message like that? Oh, let me go get fixed. No, that's not even, if you want Black men to show up in therapy, that's not how you come at them. I'm not a therapist, but I deal with Black male energy every single day. I know how to deal with them. Period. That's not how you get them to show up. That's not how you get them to show up. So this is why I think that it's imperative for us to have a different way in how we deal with things. Stop, please. And how we deal with things. So, stop, please. Anyway, so I just think that I think that yeah, she was wrong. I think she was supposed to get fired. You know, if she's working for an institution and she signed their ethic rules and ethic laws, right? Oh, thank you, Dr. Smith. I really appreciate you. You are so right. The education system and its roots, they don't realize how much they push anti-Black misandry. I just had a conversation with a brother. He runs Black with No Chaser on Instagram. His name is CJ Lawrence. He's a brother. He's an attorney, actually. And he was up here making excuses for her, and I was just like, y'all don't realize how anti-Black, how endemic anti-Black misandry is, how anti-Black sciences and all of that stuff is. And y'all, we are taught to see Black men through a pathology. We are taught to see Black boys through a pathological lens. And I even tried to tell him that. He just reinforced it. No, but I know what she mean. You know, she was coming from a place of love. No, she wasn't. How could anybody watch her videos and say she was coming from a place of love? You have internalized anti-Black misandry, brother. And I told him that. You know, there's no way you can make excuses for that. I'm sorry. Black men are one of the most, if not the most, oppressed group in this country. Period. By every standard. Education, criminal justice, healthcare. They have the highest mortality rates. Black boys have the highest suicide rates right now, y'all. And we up here talking crazy about them instead of coming literally with some love and trying to make sure we heal them. This is why African-centered psychology is necessary. This is why everybody needs to go back. Even if you've been to college and you already got your degree, if you don't know who Dr. Wade Nobles is, if you don't know who Dr. Cheryl Grills is, who's also a former past president, Black woman out of Loyola University in LA, Association of Black Psychologists. If you don't know who Dr. Kobe Campbell is, yes, Dr. Bobby Wright, go and read Black theorists, Black epistemology that's not rooted in pathologizing Blackness. See, that's the problem. That I could tell that young lady had never been to a meeting with the Association of Black Psychologists. She's probably never even heard of the Association of Black Psychologists or the Association of Black Social Workers. Both of them are from an African-centered perspective. The Association of Black Social Workers and the Association of Black Psychologists. Thank God Dr. Wade Nobles is still with us. In fact, I just bought his most recent book from Third World Press. If you all want to go and see what his recent book is, go to Third World Press. That's Hakeem Matabutis. It's a Black publisher. And buy his latest book. I literally brought it through PayPal last night because I'm not a therapist, but I have a deep love for my people. I have a deep love for our community. And I want to see us heal. And there's ways in which we can heal in the community outside of Eurocentric standards and norms. There's ways that we can do that. That's why I always recommend the Community Healing Network, which Dr. Cheryl Grills is helped to found with Enola Aird, who is a Black woman attorney. And it's called Emotional Emancipation Healing Circles, but it's rooted from an African-centered perspective. Um, yeah, I'm glad that Dr. Smith was here. I really appreciate your affirmation, Dr. William Smith, and I appreciate your work that you're doing in the belly of the beast in the academy. Around racial battle fatigue. Yeah, our boys, our babies, our kids are checking out of here, y'all, and we up here validating some woman who's supposed to be there to support and help them. We validating the way that the way that she was talking. That wasn't no love. That was rooted all in pathology at all. Like that, no. Yeah, there's no way to heal within their system. I agree. I agree. I agree with your wife too. There is no way to heal within their system. That is absolutely right. So I just wanted to come really quickly because I have not been on my YouTube channel in a while. I appreciate the super chat from Dr. William Smith. But yeah, it's been really sad to see how many Black people side with that woman, and not even realize that they're siding with her because they share a collective brainwashing from K through 12 and the university of anti-blackness. It's very anti-black. No one, steps back to think, okay, maybe Black men are not going into therapy because it isn't relevant to them, because they don't feel is welcoming to them, because it doesn't do anything for them. Like nobody ever thought about that. Like every system in this country hasn't been rooted in racism and oppression. Even the medical system. Y'all love to talk about medical apartheid, but don't think that applies to mental health. Y'all gotta stop. People love medical apartheid, read medical apartheid, but y'all don't think that apply to mental health? The mental health, oh my God. The roots of psychology in this country, the mental health system in this country, Jesus Christ. You can tell when people don't know history. It's rooted in race science. It's rooted in fucking eugenics. Y'all, oh man. I hope YouTube don't take this down for me cussing so much, but it's frustrating that people can see all of this racism in every system, but all of a sudden mental health system isn't affected by it. Come on, y'all. Anyway, I'm done now. Just had to get that off of my chest, and I appreciate you all. Talk to you soon. Why do you do that?